while construction continues on Stone Boulevard. How are students being impacted by yet another long-term campus project?
An interview with Tyra Mason from Good Model Students, discussing the importance of student skip care.
And a deep dive into the world of student athletes and their effort to maintain a school and sports balance.
Your Take 30 News starts right now. Welcome back to Take 30 News. I'm Tashanti Trice.
And I'm Trinity Johnson. Thanks for joining us. On any campus you go to, construction is normally a problem, and MSU has been facing that. Here's Take 30's Cameron Mazingo with more.
If you go to any college campus in the country, you will see one thing in common: construction. And the campus of Mississippi State University is no different. Universities are always in a pursuit to make their campus more modern, safe, and beautiful for their students and visitors. Currently, Mississippi State has multiple construction projects that are actively being completed on campus. Even though these projects are going to better campus, the closures of main roads and walkways can cause a headache for commuters and students. This is a major issue as one of the main entrances to campus from Highway 12 and all of Engineering Row are currently closed off.
Like I said, it's just kind of inconvenient for people like me who I'm an engineering major, so I use that area a lot. It's just really inconvenient trying to get to where I need to go.
If you're looking for a way to enter campus, you're going to have to not use Highway 12 for at least until next football season begins, as this whole section of road is being torn down to make a roundabout to make easier entrance into Fraternity Row.
Mississippi State is on a mission to make their campus more pedestrian friendly by making the middle parts of campus more walkable. This includes Hardy Road, or Engineering Row as most people know it, being completely taken up and replaced with a brick walkway. This initiative is hopeful to reduce the dangers the pedestrians face when walking on campus. There are multiple instances of pedestrians being hit by cars at crosswalks in busy parts of campus in the early 2020s. State is also aiming to make the traffic smoother for students in busy roadways. The roundabout being worked on by the Bost Extension Center is hopeful to make traffic going to Bost, Barnes & Noble, and Fraternity Road more smooth for drivers. Students are excited for these changes and think that they will improve campus.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's just really inconvenient in the moment, but I think once it's all said and done, I think people will appreciate how what it's able to accomplish.
State hopes to have the Hardy Road construction finished by May of this year, while the roundabout will also be finished before the 2026 football season begins. For road detours and alternate routes to take, you can check Mississippi State's transportation website. For Take 30 News, I'm Cameron Mazingo.
Even though the construction can be a hassle, MSU asks students to remain patient and wait for the payoff for the completed projects. Now, here's Campus Connect meteorologist Sadie with our first look at weather.
How's the weekend looking this weekend, Sadie?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting off really nice. If you're out at the baseball game this evening or have any Friday night plans, we're staying dry, but we are going to build in some showers by around 10 p.m. and late tonight, and that's going to last scattered through Saturday, but by Sunday, nice and dry, so that'll be really nice if you have any Sunday plans or onward for the rest of the week. So just those showers between Friday and Saturday, and then clearing out nicely.
Last week, students cast their votes to decide who would represent them for the upcoming school year. Now, with the results in, newly elected student body president Keegan Figueroa is already thinking ahead. I had the chance to sit down with Figueroa to ask what message he wants every student on campus to hear as he steps into his new role.
I'm so excited to get the opportunity to serve as your next student body president. Mississippi State has been home to me. The students here mean so much to me, and so I'm so excited to get to continue serving Mississippi State and to leave this place better than I found it. As always, Hail State.
Figueroa says he and his vice president, Abigail Spreen, are committed to serving the student body and encourages students to stay engaged throughout their term.
There was a special celebration for a West Point businessman. Jackson Gregg is in the newsroom to tell us how a hunting community is remembering a pioneer.
The National Wild Turkey Federation celebrated their 50th convention last week alongside Mossy Oak, who is celebrating 40 years of selling camo and adding on to conservation of the wild turkey. The convention hosted over 500 vendors with well over 100 different companies, the biggest of which being Mossy Oak.
NWTF is something that I look forward to every year. It's a great opportunity to see a lot of my friends, both industry partners, but also friends of mine who are just peers and turkey hunters and like-minded folks that this is the only time of the year that I get to see them.
Father of Mossy Oak founder Mr. Fox Hayes passed away on January 5th. Fox was a very prominent figure in West Point, Mississippi, and the weekend was filled with tributes to him. Vendors' proceeds went into research of turkey DNA and population control, which Fox Hayes felt passionately about. Friday night, Luke Combs made a surprise appearance and performance for the 40th year celebration. This year's attendance was larger than ever and exceeded estimations of over 70,000 visitors, with a 3-hour traffic jam to get in the doors, all in the name of turkeys.
The next anniversary for Mossy Oak will be 50 years, and it's sure to be a big one. Back to you in the studio.
Civil rights leader Jesse Jackson has died at the age of 84. Jackson worked closely with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the civil rights movement. He later founded the Rainbow Push Coalition and made history with 2 presidential campaigns in the 1980s. Leaders across the country are remembering Jackson for his decades of advocacy for equality and political empowerment.
The sense of place. We all have it. Often grown from deep roots in small-town communities. At Mississippi State University, our Carl Small Town Center is strengthening these ties. With nearly 40 years of making a difference, we're revitalizing communities into welcoming places to work, live, and congregate. By weaving together the best pieces of our past with modern technology and amenities, we're creating the hometowns of the future. Places where lifetime memories can be made, where you have all the things you need. Along with all communities, we're identifying improvement opportunities, recommending paths forward, and creating the plans for a better tomorrow.
Thank you, Jared. We're back with our guest today for Take 30 News. This is Tyra Mason from Good Molecules. Thank you for being here with us today, Tyra.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
And so, you know, for the viewers at home or people who are just unfamiliar with the brand, can you just give us a little bit more information about what Good Molecules is?
I would love to. Good Molecules is a skincare brand that was formed and based in Korea, but is now in the United States.
And what is it about Good Molecules that made you want to be a brand ambassador for the company?
The thing that brought me to Good Molecules is I suffer with psoriasis myself, and my skin is like always dry. It's like always patchy. And in trying other things, Good Molecules was the brand that like really helped me.
Okay.
Great. And, you know, I suffer from dry skin too. So, you know, it's always good to hear people getting into brands that, you know, they can really bond with. So speaking of that, can you tell us how you got connected with Good Molecules as a college student?
So, you know, I was on that lovely app that we all use called TikTok, right? And I seen a girl doing an event that we have to do called Door Knockers. And I was like, what is that? And she had like 200 pimple patches that she was like boxing and backing up to go give the students. And I was like, I would love to do something like that. So in doing my deep dive on TikTok University, I found the program, and it's called Good Molecules University, which is like a 6-month program for college kids to basically go around on their college campus, educating clubs, students, and other people about the brand.
Okay, and so now that you're an ambassador for the brand, could you tell us like what a day-to-day day in the life looks like as a brand ambassador?
I would love to. Some days it's like really light and you're not doing much besides like your groundwork and like you're behind the work before you go do something. And some days you're like at a club talking, you're on campus tabling, you're doing something like Door Knockers. You're doing like Excel because they're big on professional development in the program as well. So that's like typical day to day.
Okay. I actually have some products here with you today. Yes. Would you like to show us and, you know, just tell us about them in the brand?
Yes, I would love to. Is the brightening toner. Second is the Yerba Matte makeup eye gel. It's for like bags and puffiness that you get under your eyes. The second one is the lightweight daily moisturizer. If you have dry skin like me, you're gonna love this. Permanent Pinky. This coloration correcting serum that I mentioned.
Well, we thank you so much for being here with us today. I know me and Tashanti really enjoyed our time with you.
Okay, that's all for today. Now with Campus Connect weather.
Well, we certainly had a cold front push through this morning, and that brought in some clouds to our north as well as some rain. We're about to track out that rain here coming up for the full weather.
Farming can be a tough way to make a living. Weather, pricing pressures, and unpredictable swings in demand can take a toll, not only on farmers' finances, but on their mental health, as well as that of family members and farm workers. That's why Mississippi State University is spearheading a program to train extension agents to detect the signs of depression, substance abuse, and other stress-related challenges. Everyone has a bad day, of course, but this holistic view of a farmer's circumstances enables MSU representatives to recognize the difference between routine struggles and deeper, more serious issues. It may be a tough conversation, but the sooner it gets started, the sooner farmers can get help to better manage stress and continue the important work of growing the products our world needs. Caring for farms and farmers. Mississippi State University.
Well, baseball season is in full swing, and we are ending off our Friday with some overcast skies, but rain is going to be moving through, as well as some scattered showers and storms throughout Saturday. But by the time you're waking up Sunday, we will cool off, and actually we have some cold evenings in store. So we're talking about well below average temperatures, and that's all because of this cold front that pushed through the southeast. We've got some rain bubbling up into the area now, as well as some clouds far out towards the west there. That line of clouds is going to turn into some storms, and we're going to track that out as well. But I want to point out these temperature differences where you can really see the cold front taking in effect. The northern area is feeling that cold front in the 40s tonight. For us here in Starkville, 49, some of us more towards the south in the 50s. But let's look at this temperature roller coaster. This is the definition of a roller coaster here for us. Average around this time of year is 60. We're well above that for your weekend, for Friday, for Saturday. By Sunday hits, and by the time that rain pushes out of the picture, we're well below it. 52 is our high, and I want to point out these overnight lows. We are going to be below freezing. So if y'all thought spring was here, unfortunately, it is not fully here. By Sunday in the 30s overnight, 20s overnight by Monday, and then overnight Tuesday in the 40s. So some chilly overnight lows on the way, as well as some rain. So looking at our future cast, we're going to see a lot of cloud cover build its way in, as well as some storms bubbling up here over the evening hours. And as we go through the evening, that low pressure system is going to pass through. And for your Saturday, we're waking up dry. We do have the baseball game 1 p.m. and by the time that starts, it's going to be clear, but you're going to want to have the rain jacket on hand because the rain moves through right there as the game is continuing. By Sunday or Saturday evening, it continues to push through. By 8 p.m., still some scattered showers, and then by late Saturday, that'll all be gone. A few lingering scattered clouds, but by the time we're waking up Sunday, nice and dry. And this is not going to be a washout by any means. We're talking about only about 1/10 of an inch here in Starkville and across the area. Some of us to the north not even picking up barely a trace. So nice and dry though as we head into Monday and Tuesday. But notice how those lows overnight are nice and cold, as well as the highs. So as we head into the week, we are going to dry out. So if you have any midweek plans for the week, it is going to be nice.
Here on Mississippi State's campus, the Chinese Culture Club welcomes students to a Lunar New Year celebration, a tradition marking the beginning of a new year on the Lunar Sol calendar that celebrates across many Asian cultures. Learn about the history behind the holiday, including traditions meant to bring good luck and chase away misfortune. Students then took part in gifting red envelopes and learning inspirational messages, a custom rooted in sharing wishes for health and prosperity. And a bit of fun, participants faced off in a race game, putting their skills to the test.
Not a lot of people in Western culture know how to use chopsticks, and there's a certain level of finesse you got to do with it. So we like to challenge people to who can pick up a uncooked grain of rice and put it in a cup fastest.
Celebration moved into one of the best parts, the food. Students lined up for dishes like fried rice, honey soy chicken, egg rolls, and stir fry, all part of the Lunar New Year spread. Attendees found friends to sit with, enjoyed the chance to hanging out, and kept the vibes high during this celebration. By the end of the event, there were big smiles all around from everyone of all different walks of life, especially from the winners of the rice game, proving that the celebration was about much more about the community as a part of the culture.
At Mississippi State University, student-led teams are taking one of the country's biggest health issues to heart. Out to unravel one of science's unsolved mysteries, researchers in MSU's Department of Agriculture and Biological Engineering are asking why and when healthy cells in human arteries can begin changing into bone-like structures that hamper blood flow. This calcification contributes to strokes and heart attacks, two leading causes of death in Mississippi. As part of their groundbreaking research, students are designing a 3D model that allows them to understand how arteries act within the body and what changes them. By recreating what is happening at the cellular level, researchers are pursuing ways to stop and reverse the process of calcification. Testing treatments could lead to new solutions, helping reduce the number of people struggling with the effects of poor heart health, and ultimately saving lives. Mississippi State University, getting to the heart of better health for Mississippians. When it comes to making the world a better place, it's all in the numbers at Mississippi State University. Our big data science researchers are creating astonishing new algorithms to model human behavior and consumer activity to identify anomalous purchasing patterns. Interpreting the data creates heat maps that can signal fraudulent activity and even predict likely cybercrime locations and perpetrators. And as the only academic institution to team with a state-level DHS agency in the study of transactional data of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, MSU is helping prevent misuse while ensuring that benefits are being used as intended. These successes are opening doors for similar research partnerships with banking, insurance, credit card, and other data-intensive industries, leading to consumer confidence in online and other transactions. Making numbers count. Mississippi State University.
Welcome back to Take 30. This is Chance Roberts with the World of Sports. Mississippi State faced off against the Auburn Tigers on Wednesday following a dominant victory over their rivals, Ole Miss. Bulldog Jr. Josh Hubbard with a big part of the win, and he followed that up with a historic night in Starkville. Hubbard came out of the blocks hot early, scoring 20 points in the first 20 minutes. Hubbard already with 4 drains, his first 3 of the night, 5 minutes into the game. A few minutes later, MSU up 9, Hubbard again from 3, nothing but net. That put MSU up 12. He would stay hot as he would close the half with 35 points. 9 of those made shots would be 3-pointers and would beat enough to break the program record for most made 3-pointers made in a single game in just the first half. Mississippi State would go on to win 91-85. Hubbard finished with 46 points, which would be the most points scored by a Bulldog in almost 70 years.
I was just staying level-headed, not getting too high, not staying too low or high in the moment. Just taking a possession at a time, just letting the groove come to me, and I couldn't do it by myself. My teammates set me up, ball screens, DHOs, and things like that. So without them, I wouldn't have that type of performance.
Mississippi State's next opponent will be South Carolina in Columbia Saturday at 12 p.m. Mississippi State's women's basketball team has picked up some big wins recently, beating Georgia and Arkansas in SEC play to build momentum. State would knock off Georgia 85-71 with balanced scoring and tough defense that followed up with a 75-66 road win at Arkansas behind hot shooting and smart play all night. Freshman Madison Francis has stepped up as a key scorer and inside presence, helping lead the Bulldogs on both ends of the floor. Those wins have pushed Mississippi State's record to 18-8 overall and 5-7 in the SEC, putting them around 11th in the conference, standing and improving their position as they chase postseason positioning this spring.
When it comes to making the world a better place, it's all in the numbers at Mississippi State University. Our big data science researchers are creating astonishing new algorithms to model human behavior and consumer activity to identify anomalous purchasing patterns. Interpreting the data creates heat maps that can signal fraudulent activity and even predict likely cybercrime locations and perpetrators. And as the only academic institution to team with a state-level DHS agency in the study of transactional data of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, MSU is helping prevent misuse while ensuring that benefits are being used as intended. These successes are opening doors for similar research partnerships with banking, insurance, credit card, and other data-intensive industries, leading to consumer confidence in online and other transactions. Making numbers count. Mississippi State University.
The disappearance of this NBC journalist's mother has escalated into a nationwide manhunt. The search continues for Nancy Guthrie. The 84-year-old woman reported missing from her Tucson, Arizona home earlier this month. She is the mother of Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, who has been publicly asking for help in bringing her mother home. Investigators believe Guthrie was taken from her residence, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation was released surveillance images showing the masked individual near the home. Authorities say DNA evidence recovered at the scene does not belong to Guthrie or her family and continues to be analyzed. The reward for the information has now increased to more than $200,000. Savannah Guthrie is urging anyone with information to come forward as investigators say the search remains active.
Now we send things to the newsroom. Tafeda Wright has a special report on student athletes and how they're balancing life and preparing for their sport. Tafeda?
SEC championship season is testing more than speed and strength for track athletes. I spoke with two competitors about balancing championship training for schoolwork.
SEC championship season brings intense practices and high expectations. But even during championship prep, classes, exams, and assignments continue. For these athletes, the pressure doesn't stop when practice ends.
The biggest challenge trying to balance both aspects like school and sport of my life would be making sure that I give my best effort and put my best foot forward in both. I want to make sure that with that, especially doing engineering, it can get very tough. So I not only have to keep that in the back of my mind that it is going to be tough to do, but I also have to keep my head on straight by, checking in with myself every once in a while to make sure that I'm doing okay.
Intense training sessions and traveling for meets such as the SEC Championship does not mean there is a pause to the semester. Athletes are still expected to complete their academic responsibilities, putting the students in student athletes.
How do I balance it? When it comes to schoolwork, I kind of have set times and schedules throughout the day where I do schoolwork. I kind of manage it by doing it early in the morning before and after I get done with my workout, so I can just strictly focus on training.
Championship season brings a learning curve for freshmen, while upperclassmen rely on experience and routine to stay organized during the busiest part of the year. Both say time management becomes just as important as training.
SEC Championship begins next week in College Station, Texas. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Tafeda Wright. More after the break.
Farming can be a tough way to make a living. Weather, pricing pressures, and unpredictable swings in demand can take a toll, not only on farmers' finances, but on their mental health, as well as that of family members and farm workers. That's why Mississippi State University is spearheading a program to train extension agents to detect the signs of depression, substance abuse, and other stress-related challenges. Everyone has a bad day, of course, but this holistic view of a farmer's circumstances enables MSU representatives to recognize the difference between routine struggles and deeper, more serious issues. It may be a tough conversation, but the sooner it gets started, the sooner farmers can get help to better manage stress and continue the important work of growing the products our world needs. Caring for farms and farmers. Mississippi State University. When it comes to making the world a better place, it's all in the numbers at Mississippi State University. Our big data science researchers are creating astonishing new algorithms to model human behavior and consumer activity to identify anomalous purchasing patterns. Interpreting the data creates heat maps that can signal fraudulent activity and even predict likely cybercrime locations and perpetrators. And as the only academic institution to team with a state-level DHS agency in the study of transactional data of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, MSU is helping prevent misuse while ensuring that benefits are being used as intended. These successes are opening doors for similar research partnerships with banking, insurance, credit card, and other data-intensive industries, leading to consumer confidence in online and other transactions. Making numbers count. Mississippi State University.
Welcome back to Tech 30 News. We now have Amelia here today. And Amelia, I want to ask you about Mississippi State baseball. You know, the season just started. And how are things looking for our Diamond Dogs?
So far, the Dogs are 5-0. They recently played Troy this past Wednesday, won 19-0, some great runs. And also they're playing right now at the Dude against Delaware for their second series.
Okay, that's great. And what about softball?
Softball's looking great as well.
Great, great, great. I think that's all we have today for Take 30 News, but we're going to toss it back to Sadie for your final weekend forecast. What's going on, Sadie?
So speaking of the sports, right, we all want the weather to be nice before going out to the baseball games.
Yes.
Luckily, today it's been holding off really nicely, just an overcast sky right now, but some rain is definitely coming into the picture for this evening around 10 and later. We're going to see those scattered showers start to build in. That's why we're giving it about a 30% for your Saturday, because that's continuing into Saturday morning. So for your baseball game at 1 p.m. there against Delaware, that's going to be nice and dry for the start of the game. But by the time you're leaving the game, you're going to want that rain jacket. So make sure you have that on hand for your Saturday. Not going to be a washout by any means. We're talking about, a 1/10 of an inch. This is not going to be a downpour by any means. But luckily, that's going to dry out very nicely if you have any Sunday plans. Another game on Sunday. It's going to be beautiful weather, very mild, lots of sunshine, 52. But watch out, once that sun sets, we're talking about some cold temperatures in the 30s, below freezing by Monday, into the 20s overnight into Tuesday. So nice and cold temperatures on the way. If you thought this was spring, it's not quite here yet.
Well, that's all for this week's edition of Take 30 News. Make sure to follow us on all our socials for sneak peeks at our next show.